Wait, what?
I'ma call my
It's
guy Deon. Big D, man. I already got you. So we got Hayden, Hay. We got Big D as Big D.
Deezy.
Yo, it's
Deezy.
simple.
Easy.
Hey, B.
Easy.
Okay, Big
Easy.
B.
No, why are you encouraging him? All right, wait. So then, like Nana is Na, Hayden is Hey.
Fine, you can be
Okay, here them.
Deezy. I might just call you
Deezy.
D because I'm not gonna be saying Deezy this entire time.
All right,
bro.
that's fine. That's fine.
Big
I'm good
B.
with that.
Okay, I got you.
All
I
right,
still want to hear. I want to hear the story behind this. I don't understand why when this came to be.
Honestly,
bro.
I don't even know if there's much of a story.
I don't even like remember. Yeah.
I think it was like what like I think it was right when he was getting his girl, bro. It was like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
and then he started calling me that, and I was just like, "Don't do that."
Dog, Hayden, you know on Snap where this guy Deezy, I started it by the way. These guys always got something to talk about. My guy, hey. So remember when Deezy was on Snap and he was all like, you know what, Nigerian Jollof isn't that bad.
Oh well, yeah. He was
Yeah.
wilding out.
So that
He was
was when
wilding out.
Okay, first
that's
of
He had the
all,
whole community after him.
that,
He had the whole community after him.
that
Yeah.
okay. Let me explain. That
There's
was
no
a mis.
explanation. You
That
were
was a
born to a
You
certain
were
mischaracterization.
place, and
Ghanaian
you
went
literally,
and
you literally gave up on your culture, bro. Nobody's talking to you after that. You're
Listen,
unaffiliated.
you didn't even just like keep it to yourself. You felt the need to tell everybody.
Can Deezy explain real quick, please?
All right.
So,
Make your
so,
case.
so then I would call it a mischaracterization of my words. What I actually said, I didn't say, "Oh, it's good." I just said, "Oh, it's not that bad." You know what I mean? There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to the community. That sounded like the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
What
gonna
do
lie.
you mean?
I don't know, man. Like I
It
can't
sounded like
believe
the same thing.
you as a Ghanaian really went ahead and endorsed sewage water. I don't
Wow.
Facts.
like.
Wow.
Look,
I mean, like,
there's a clear divide that we need to respect. All right, because look, everybody between the Ghanaians and Nigerians, we all know that we're the two people on the top, bruh. No one else
that's
cares
fair.
about. We don't care about anywhere else's jollof. All right.
Facts.
So
all y'all Sierra Leoneans, hey, stop. You're not it. You're
I
not
don't
it.
even know why they think they're a part of the conversation.
Y'all keep talking, but you're not a part of it. I
That's
don't
what I'm
know. I don't know
saying.
where this is coming from.
Like it's
Nope.
like this, bruh. It's like the
Don't
sidewalk is
Deon,
only big enough for two
don't say
people,
anything.
so anybody else is walking behind. They're not really part of the conversation. That's how it is. All right.
Facts.
So,
Okay.
but the thing is, even though there is that like understanding between both Ghanaians and Nigerians, you cannot let the other side can't let the other one have their way. And
I'm telling you, I was learning some history. I was learning some history about the Ghanaian spice trade. I'm telling you right now, they stole our spices. Like, they literally stole them. Like,
Which country? Nigeria?
Of course, Nigeria. You think Ghanaians? Of course.
Wait. Did you just ask which country? The cocoa country of Ghana versus
But listen.
freaking the
Ghana
Nigerian
Jollof
Prince
originated.
Scam. The Nigerian Prince Scam. Nigeria.
But Ghana
Go ahead.
But Ghana Jollof originated from Senegal. You know that, right?
All right,
No,
but we had our
they
own
stole our
spices.
spices.
We did our own little
They
spin.
stole our spices. We were making the best spices, and that's why America was coming to us, bro, for our cocoa and for our spices, bro.
Exactly, man.
And our slaves, but yeah, you
I
right.
mean, all that. But the spices is where it was at. We're talking about the spices right now. And so I was learning, right? I was my friend, my older friend was telling me about it, and he was like, yeah, they were like raiding our spice trails or spice like routes or trade routes, and they were stealing spices from us. and they started incorporating it into their own food. Like they stole our oils, they stole our spices, and they started incorporating it into their own food, claiming that it's theirs. So honestly, they stole our stuff and couldn't even make it better. Like I don't know what they're
This is
doing.
what it was, bro. Senegal is basically the people who developed the touchscreen, man. All right. Ghana is Steve Jobs, bro. We made the iPhone, the iPad. We running it. All right. Nigeria is like the good Android competitors, like Samsung and everything. That's what Nigeria is, in my opinion. Gonna get a lot of hate from other Nigerian people.
But honestly, though, like there's just more of them.
I mean, we love our haters. It's okay.
I'm saying,
it's like,
bro.
it's like okay. It's like okay. Well, Hayden, like for you, right? Like at UVA, is it mostly Ghanaian people or Nigerian people?
It's a mixture. I feel like in terms of like it's like I would say 50-50.
Oh, then that's actually pretty good.
We have like a lot of people from different places, but I say like our biggest population is Ghanaian. I personally know a lot more Ghanaians than I do Nigerians. Yeah, and so and also I don't know as many people outside of the engineering school. Yeah. And so
that's fair.
I would say I feel like it's 50-50, but we have like a lot of Kenyans, Sierra Leoneans. We have a lot of we have a lot of Ethiopians, we have some Algerians. We have like a people a lot from a lot of places in Africa. I feel like Nigeria and Ghana are the biggest.
Yeah.
Biggest.
I think Ghana might be like bigger at least from what I've seen, but I'm not too sure. I definitely think.
But like definitely,
if not the East Africans, there's a lot of East Africans at Mason actually.
Yeah, yeah, but honestly, like at my school, yeah, it's pretty much Nigerian. I think I know about 10 other Ghanaian people. And yeah, but like honestly, everywhere I go, if I ever see somebody that's like, you know, West African, like I like almost like assume that they're just Nigerian because it's just so common there. So like I can never make jokes about Nigerian jollof because, you know, like they're all gonna get on me. I can't, you know, boast Ghanaian jollof because everyone is just gonna trash it. It's like I'm just outnumbered here, you know.
So what I'm saying is, what I'm hearing is, you don't have faith in your people.
I'm saying, hey, I was thinking that boiled
what
over
does that mean?
Like, when you got that energy, when you got that power, it doesn't matter if you're alone in an army, man.
Bro,
you take your spoon, you take your bowl, you get your Ghanaian jollof, and you power through.
Facts. How do you live every day? How do you live every day knowing that you're not defending Ghana?
You're just gonna bend down and fold whenever the numbers aren't in your favor.
Bro, but that's hard. Because like if no one's there to help you, it's like, like I'm basically going in there without ammunition, bro. I'm going into a war.
You have so much ammunition. What?
Bro, what's my ammunition?
You're trying to say you're going into a war without an army.
Yeah, okay. That's better.
Hell, man.
That's better.
I don't know. I've heard of one, Hayden. I don't know. Hey,
but if there's any
heard of a one-man army, but I have.
I want to say, if there's anything that
like I'm not Madara, so like I don't know.
If there's anything that anime has taught me, any war can be fought with raw power. So get to
raw power. Okay, but let's also be honest though. Like all these people at this school are definitely smarter than me, so it's like I can't even.
Remember back when we had that false argument?
You just don't believe in yourself, man. You don't believe in yourself.
I don't.
Obviously you didn't watch Naruto, bro. Obviously you didn't watch Naruto.
No, bro. It's definitely because I am objectively dumber than the other people there.
No, but Hay's right. You didn't watch Naruto.
You didn't watch Naruto. You didn't watch Deezy, bro.
You literally skipped them. You said, let me just skip the beginning where everybody hates them. They're dumb. And let's just skip the point
if you weren't there with the come up, bro, if you weren't there with the come up D, you weren't doing it right. Like you had to realize how much Naruto believed in himself. You had to be with him through the come up. Like Naruto was hated. Like I've never met a more hated character in the Jump. That people wouldn't even look at him. This man was like 3, People wouldn't even look him in the eyes. He didn't do anything. He was hated, like the epitome of the word.
And he
All
was
right.
an orphan.
He
First of
believed
all,
in himself.
Bro, soccer
first
literally
of all,
made fun
first
of the
of all,
fact that he was an orphan. People were making fun
But
of him for being an orphan. Man, I don't want to hear nothing.
you know how many
okay.
times this man failed
And he
the
still said,
academy?
I
He
want to
still thought I
save
could
them.
do it. I could do it.
Okay, okay. First of all, though, this whole idea of Naruto overcoming adversity and whatnot and believing himself is absolutely stupid. Because, like, think
What?
about it, right? Think about no. Listen to me. Think about it though, right? Okay, think about it. All right. So then, yeah, of course, you know, he was an orphan and stuff like that, but he was basically the child of the fourth Hokage. So then he was
Okay.
already destined to be great. And
That's
he
not
also
true.
had a Jinchuriki inside of him. Like, are you really trying to tell me that like he actually had to work hard? He was already destined to be great. And Jiraiya already knew the type of potential that he had. So this idea that he had to try or like, you know, work so hard, like, no. Because like,
This is
especially in the original, you know, Naruto, the Nine-Tailed Fox pretty much saved him in almost every major fight he had.
Okay. I'll give you look. I'll give you this, Deon. Naruto, in my
Uh-huh.
opinion, like skipping all the village stuff, he should have definitely had died when he went to what's that place called? When they were going to the bridge place for Zabuza because the people poisoned him.
Because that was that.
Yeah, because
the Great Naruto Bridge.
yeah, the Great Naruto Bridge.
When he was
right
fighting
before,
Haku.
right before they're fighting Zabuza, two ninjas that were like set by Zabuza came to go and assassinate them. Naruto got
Oh,
poisoned.
the ice ninjas.
Oh, okay,
Naruto
yeah.
got
I remember
poisoned,
that
but
now.
he got bailed out by the Nine Tails. I'll give you that. Naruto should have been dead, but at the same time, he didn't have the same foundation. Like if you look at just look at Sasuke's room versus Naruto's room. Both of them were orphans, but there was a clear distinction, even though that man's dad was a whole fourth Hokage. Like he didn't have no foundation, no general training. That man did it out the gutter, man. He had to teach himself everything. Nobody was there to teach him chakra control.
Wait, what?
Whoa. Okay, whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Man, look. We get it.
There were-
Iruka Sensei
Naruto
was
and
there
Sasuke were-
every now
were
and then.
two
He was a
different-
pretty
two
good
different-
foster dad, but come on. The man was living by himself.
Iruka Sensei. Okay, what about Jiraiya? What do you need?
That was way
The
That
biggest
was like
influence
his
on him.
grandpa. Whoa, okay.
That was,
That was like his grandpa.
and that man didn't come. That man didn't even come to Naruto. Naruto saw this man peeping in a bathhouse. If anything, Naruto was doing a service. All right, he was servicing the community that long forgot and disrespected him.
All I'm gonna say is that Naruto and Sasuke led different lives, right? They're both orphans. Like the writer did an amazing job of like showing two different paths that they each could have gone. Like I could totally see Naruto becoming a Sasuke, and I can totally see Sasuke becoming a Naruto.
100%.
But the lives that they did end up leading was only due to the fact of the life, only due to the life that they were living. Sasuke started off with revenge and ended with like I don't know if I necessarily like the way the Sasuke is right now, but that's a
Mhm.
different.
He feels
That's
like he's
neither
just an
neither here
empty
nor
husk.
there,
Like he's like, I don't know what to do anymore, so I'm just gonna do this.
bro. I don't know if I like the shadow of the Hokage,
Yeah.
the shadow Hokage, or whatever it is that he is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that concept. It just makes him feel like he like leaked out to becoming a Hokage, like even fighting to be the strongest.
It's weird. I think it makes him actually feel more of the strongest. It's weird just because it's like you don't need everybody and everybody's power. Basically, you go ahead and you solo. You do what you got to do. But it's weird. I 100% agree. It's Naruto could have went either way and everything. But I also think that while young Deezy over here was incorrect in his ways, he still did bring up something that we're planning to talk about, which is classes. But before we get into that, we did not have a real introduction of these guys and the podcast. So welcome to the Just Talking Podcast.
Well, good. Nice to be on Just Talking Podcast. It's Hayden.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Deon Audio.
Whoa, you just don't interrupt me.
Oh, my bad.
Finish, bro.
Go ahead and finish that.
He said he really did a Kanye on you, bro.
Go ahead, huh? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Go
He
ahead.
said, "Hi."
So it's Hay.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Hey. Nice to be on this podcast. I've been a fan since it started. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on here and coming to share my words of wisdom slash just be a participant. I'm excited, guys. You can go now. That's all I wanted to
Oh,
say.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, 360 Deon. I go by Deezy in this podcast that we're currently doing. If you want to know, like, the type of way I talk in these podcasts, I always say think of like a black Joe Rogan,
What?
Yeah.
Stop.
All right, we gonna see.
I'm basically the black Joe Rogan, I can talk like him. Well, black Joe Rogan, but, like a more liberal, I would say, I guess. Yeah.
Hey, did you buy any of that, bro?
I'm just gonna leave that there.
That's definitely me, bro. I mean,
there's no
that's
reason
how I
to
roll.
comment on what this man just said.
You know what, Black Joe Rogan, you take the floor, man. Tell us how. Let's get in. I'll introduce the concept, but you're gonna start off because you're the Black Joe Rogan. All right.
I got you. Of course.
Disgusting. But anywho, as we're here, it's January 9th. Just gonna say this time, but this is not coming out on the 9th, actually. A different episode came on the 9th. Binge watch all the episodes, self-advertise within the podcast. Second episode in a row.
Oh yeah. Self-advertise.
But basically, everybody, it's January 9th. We're getting closer and closer to the start of the next semester in COVID situation. Obviously, it's getting better in the sense that there's a vaccine, more or less, that people are whether or not people take it. That's not what I'm talking about, but for the most part, we're seeing kind of the end of the corona, assumably, unless there's a super virus that comes afterwards.
Let's not speak things into existence, but yes.
Yeah. So we just want to talk about our experiences in the COVID lifestyle. So let's switch over to young Deezy. How were you?
The
man?
black Joe Rogan, yes.
Yeah.
So okay, here. Cheers. Let me try to imitate his voice. So yeah, actually no, I can't do his voice. I definitely can't. All right.
Like Joe Rogan.
This guy really changed his own voice. He said,
oh wait, yeah. All right. So then, like, basically, just my life during COVID.
Yeah. So explain the differences between like how you felt your semester was before COVID, after COVID, kind of like introduce it all. Because to be honest, like it can even start from the spring, because that's when like people were shipped out, like during spring break, kicked out of their dorms, out like left their houses just to go back home, and like having to like whether it was working from home or you guys living closer to the college, however college life being like obviously diminished due to the virus and everything. How does everything get situated for you guys?
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. So I guess for me, I was so like before we left for spring break, like our like dean was kind of giving us signs about that we weren't coming back, because he was like, oh yeah, make sure that like when you pack as if you aren't coming back, so like take all of your valuables. So then like I saw that email, but I like just did not regard it, because I was just like, what, honestly, like we're gonna be back, like nothing's gonna stop me, because I know that I can't do school from home. And then they hit us with the like we can't come back. So I was on spring break during this time, and I know like so many of my other friends were also like vacationing in Miami. So then they didn't bring any of their books with them. So like they literally had to finish the semester without any of their things, which was like crazy. But like honestly, it was hard. I could not do anything at home. Like like I think I think I was telling you how like my family was like doing a lot, and that like I wanted to be treated like a guest in the house, but they were treating me as if I actually lived there. So I was like cleaning the house and doing dishes, and I was just like, I'm meant for more than this. Nah, but like, I'm meant for more than this.
You see, when you first were talking to me about it, I was like, "Dang, man! I guess I can see how bad it is." But now you're just talking about regular stuff.
No.
Yeah, facts. I was like, what?
No. No, but remember that whole car thing that I told you about when they got mad at me because
Yeah.
I like left the car on or something like that, and they said that I've been doing that a lot or something.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm still not able to use the car because of that. like, like basically, like Hayden, bro. Okay, so my mom has like this button that you can press on the car that would automatically turn it on. So then,
Starts up by
yeah,
itself.
yeah. So then I just started using the like our spare key because that doesn't have the button that turns on by itself because like every time I would use it, it would somehow turn on, and then Kevin would always find her car on. So I was like, okay, so like, let me just use the spare key. So like a month went by, bro, and then I accidentally like like they said that I left the car on, and then they told me, oh, just use the regular key. Oh, no, sorry, like they got mad at me because I didn't have any house keys, so they said I should just use the regular key because it has house keys. And then I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't use that because it'll just turn the car on. And then they have like a 30-minute conversation with me about how like I shouldn't be arguing with them and that I should just do what they say, right?
Mm.
And then bro, like what got me the most is that I was just talking to my mom about this, right? I was talking to her about this, actually having, like a chill conversation with her. And then my sister would like pull up into the conversation as if like she has something to do with it. And I'm just like, I do, like, can you mind your own business? So yeah, so then because of me being disrespectful, I still can't use the car unless I'm like getting like I'm picking up stuff for her and like stuff like that. But yeah, so, but outside of that, though, us being able to go back to like school was like a big dub because I knew that I could not do Khan Academy from home again. Um, so I was able to go back, but like honestly, everything was pretty much closed down. Like we couldn't use the gym, we couldn't like eat in the cafeteria. Like we had to like take our like food to our rooms and eat there. But everybody had like their own room. And I was like at least chill because like most of us have roommates and stuff like that if you're living on campus. And then like everybody who was living on or off campus had to get tested for COVID twice a week. So we only ended up with like 100 cases by the end of the semester, which was, compared to like other schools,
Compared
like
to
pretty good, bro. That was pretty good.
that's excellent.
Yeah. So that was a dub. But like honestly, with the increase in cases and everything, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be allowed to go back, or like basically like what they'll do is that they'll let the off-campus people come back, but they just won't offer on-campus housing. And if that's the case, then I need to like go ahead and start finding me an apartment to live in for the semester because I just simply can't do school from here, bro.
Dang, I feel you, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's great. Wait, but you're off campus though, right?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about my experience too.
Mm.
So yeah, I was actually on a spring break trip.
Off, and then basically commuter or slash at home with me. Yeah, I think we covered all the bases this time.
Maybe he is a black. Never mind. No, I don't even think I want to say that.
See, I told you, I am the black Joe Rogan. Go ahead and say it.
Now with the way you were struggling to tell some of those stories with the car
Go ahead.
going on, man. I've never heard.
But,
Joe
okay,
Rogan
that car stuff was like.
There's some miscommunication is what it sounds like.
Yeah, to be honest.
Nah, bro, that's not even the case. Like, I just don't be listening to me, bro.
What? It wasn't even
like
just
I just be telling him. My life, and like he just be like, just like not listening to me. I just don't
Honestly,
get it.
sometimes I feel like once again you make your life more difficult than it needs to be.
That is actually not even true.
I know. I feel like this is not the first time someone has told you this.
There's no way it is, man. If there's anything that I've told Deon is basically that, and then being a resume builder in high school, man. This man Deezy.
I was not even a resume. I was not a resume.
No. Stop,
Everything that I did in high school, I actually liked what I did, bro.
Stop.
What do you mean?
It's okay.
All of you went. I did that because I like that.
Nobody's judging.
Deezy, you're a man.
I
You
need
don't
that on my
have to
resume.
lie anymore.
What do you mean? No, bro. Bro. No, no, no. It's not okay because I still gotta apply to grad school. So like we gotta keep that on the low.
You going to grad school, bro?
Nah, bro. Like I think I may just do business school because I'm planning on
I thought you were
doing
majoring in
data
data
science.
science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So then
Yeah, he's gonna
I'm
need a little
gonna
business
like
stuff.
do data science coming out, but then I want to switch to product management. So then if I can't jump straight into it, then I may
Wait,
just
you
do
said
business
product or
school.
project?
Product.
Oh,
Okay.
product.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know like there are like a lot of data scientists that can jump into that, but it's easier if you have an MBA. So I'll look
Yeah.
into that. But yeah.
See what you mean by going to school again for 4 years?
Oh well, it's 2 years for
Yeah,
MBA.
too. That's what
So
I was thinking. Too.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and and honestly, I would only do it if somehow I get my tuition paid for.
Mhm.
Because I'm totally against the idea of paying for your own education. I think that's like a little bit dumb. And I'm not trying to get into any debt. So you know, so if they don't offer me anything, then I think I'll just try jumping straight into it.
All right. Well, hey, let's hear about your experience and everything.
Yes, Hayden, what's up?
I'm not gonna
You
lie.
just suck at names.
There's a lot that's kind of went down with me, but I'll explain all of it. Well, I'm going to talk about myself. So my experience with COVID was interesting. I feel like because I was on a mission trip, so I wasn't even home for spring break when like all the COVID things went down, and we all thought it was a lie. Like our whole team thought it was a joke when they were like places are closing down, COVID was real. Like schools are starting to close down. We are like UVA would never. Why would UVA, who didn't even close down when we won the national championship for basketball, why would they close down school for some fake
Man,
virus?
y'all should
so,
be
so we were like making jokes, and then we found out our school was closed, and like we had to go back. And so we were 8 hours away from Virginia because we were in Buffalo, New York. And so we had to leave 2 days early from the mission trip, and we had to like get our stuff from our dorms. And I didn't have a ride. Like because it was so unexpected. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I had to like move my stuff out. Like people were we had our stuff out by that weekend, and by the time we came back, like it was the Sunday of, and so I had to leave. I like left the night of. One of my friends was driving back to Richmond. No, driving back, I think to Arlington, and then so he was like, "I can take you on the way," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And so that's what we ended up doing. But it was just a shock. I feel like initially because I just didn't expect. I didn't. It was all a joke until it became real. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Like I thought it was all fun and games. We were like laughing about the possibility that this was real until it was real, and then everybody was like freaking out, and we were all like, "Okay, what are we actually gonna do? Or, like, what is it? What is the actual next steps to like figuring out what life is gonna be like?" And then it only really got harder from there. Like similar to Deon, like I didn't necessarily ask to be a guest in my house, but I knew that I wasn't gonna be a guest, and so it was just an adjustment. It was like the first time my parents had seen me work for so long. Like they would constantly come and ask me, Hayden, like, or hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you? They would ask me like, hey, what are you doing? Are you really just working at your desk for this long? Like, do you really just have homework? Are you sure you're not playing games? Or like, are you sure you're not doing something else? And it'd be like, no, I have four you all due next week. I have to like start working on it now, or it's never gonna get done. Or it's like I'm in a Zoom call, or it's like I'm working with friends, whatever it may be. But they're genuinely surprised, like about how hard and how much I worked, which is like interesting, but also kind of like annoying to be questioned all the time. You know what I mean? Like to be questioned about like if you're actually getting work done or like if you're messing around. So it was a hard environment, but I definitely don't think it was the hardest. I think the hardest part about it was just getting work done specifically because I used to like go to office hours a ton to get a lot of my answers for my homework, and they'll at least if not the answer, they'll at least put me in the right direction, so I at least know where to go. But the problem was is that office hours were not the same after when COVID started, and sometimes couldn't make it depending on what classes were like. I sometimes wasn't able to like have I was sometimes I didn't have the time. Sometimes the TAs just couldn't do it certain weeks. So they had a ton of stuff they were doing and they were less in depth about their explanations or like answers. So everything just took longer. Like assignments that used to be like an hour and a half became 4 hour, 3 hour assignment. And it was just that on top of the volume of assignments we already had, which was really killing me. But I ended that semester okay, and I had an internship that summer, which was fine, but it was all remote, which is also just kind of annoying. I think that coming into this year was also super interesting, just because I moved into a house. So like you guys were saying, I was off grounds, or I was off campus, and so I was living in a house with my friends, and which was at first I think like at first it was a really cool idea. We're like, oh yes, friends, like this is exactly what these are the people I want to be with. These are like my pod of people, right? Like I don't like, these are my closest friends at UVA. There's nothing else. There's no one else I would really want to hang with.
Yeah.
But honestly, when you're in a house with someone they're seeing the same people for the week, very much it's very easy to get annoyed with people. Like it's very easy to just be like, all right, I'm done with y'all. Like I need to get out of here. And so there was a lot of tension in our house where we constantly had to have like conversations about people just being hurt by others, like comments being taken too far, like people like just really, really getting on other people's nerves. And so there are a lot of times we had to have like specific conversations with people, or like house meetings about what was going on. But I think that through it all, it was still like a community that I felt like I'm still in it. I'm planning to be there again this coming semester, and I'm planning to be there the next semester. But there definitely was like some problems with us just from proximity. But like there's also some really cool times where like these really felt like a band of brothers, or like these are some of the closest people I was, and a couple of closest people I was with. And so there are definitely some highs and lows. I think that another really wild thing that happened was that I actually got a COVID girlfriend. It was wild. And so the gist of that story is basically I mean I knew her since my first year, or my freshman year of college. But then we really started talking over the summer of COVID, and then we were talking more. School started, and then we went on dates. Um, when semester started, and now we're dating for about 3 months. But that was a lot. But like that's like the gist of what COVID has been like. Dating is a whole other topic in COVID, but like school wise, it's been up and down, definitely.
Hearing from you, hey. For me, it's actually funny for George Mason. I want to say getting right off of winter break, we were already. I forgot exactly when, but it was like first or second week of classes. They're literally saying that COVID was already in Mason. Like there was a chance that someone had already brought COVID to Mason. I remember it actually reaching the news, and then like the crazy thing is like for like a few days immediately, like when it reached the news, there was like a blackout on campus for all the TVs. Like none of the
Bruh.
TVs were working, so you couldn't reach cable or anything. Everybody was figuring it out because their parents would call and be like, yo, is everything okay? We saw in the news that you guys had COVID. And then so you'd just be hearing from your friends and everything. We'd be trying to turn on the TV so we could see the news. That was all off. It was actually pretty like crazy to actually like see that.
It was the
But
government, bro.
yeah, but everything was going like they still like carried on everything as normal. We eventually got off of that. So the semester went on like as usual, you know. I want to say there was a couple frat parties in between, and then exams, and then straight into spring break. So for spring break for me, I was just like I literally just came home, and then a few days later they're all like, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff soon and just go back home. So I was all like, I went back up there just because they don't turn off your key cards, and since Mason isn't that far from where I'm at, Mason isn't that far from where I am. So I just went, grabbed some stuff, and then honestly stayed there for a day or two just to see if I could, because I already knew I would not be able to get stuff done at home.
That's
Like
what it is.
like I applied to see if I get the go ahead to just stay there at least during the rest of the spring semester, because I was like at the very least, but nah, they sent everybody home. And the worst part about it is that if you didn't go back up to get your stuff, at least get some of your stuff early, they really played you because they didn't let people come and get their stuff until like June, like to
Oh,
actually
that was the
empty
same.
out.
That was the same with our school too.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't let people
same here.
actually empty out until June. So if you didn't get your stuff like within that still kind of spring period or spring break time period, you were basically screwed just because you didn't bring any of your textbook. You just literally just came home just because it was a break. And if you didn't have anything, you didn't have anything, which is actually kind of crazy because they ended up locking the
Oh,
buildings. I feel like 2 weeks later after spring break had ended.
yep.
But for me, I'm the type of person like I don't like staying in like one place or like just being in my room to study. It's better if I can go to like a study room, kind of like hold myself there for a few hours or some stuff, and then like just run through as much as I can in that like time period. So like not
Hmm.
having that kind of like messed me up. I had to like kind of feel like I could do it in my room, but then after a while, it just wasn't like I have my computer here where I did play games occasionally and everything. It's like I don't like working where I feel comfortable. I guess is basically what my issue was.
Yeah,
So it was hard to
see
get
what you
like
mean.
in that workflow feeling. And
Hmm.
then I went through the spring semester pretty fine, and then I took 3 summer classes, which weren't too bad either. It was like there was only one that was kind of difficult, physics too.
Mm,
That was
mm.
like the second half of it.
Oh, when it started, wait, are you talking about like the Gauss's law and stuff like that? Is that the second half for you guys, or no?
Nah, I think that's the first. I think it was more like electric fields.
Oh,
Yeah, because Gauss's law, I was all like, I was bad at it in the beginning, but then like by the exam of that, I remember I was even asking you questions about it. I was
oh, this
pretty
is true.
good on it, but it was like the moment we really got into electromagnetic fields and everything, and going through that, it definitely got a little bit more challenging. But I was able to pull through for that one too. It was that, and then I want to say this semester just it was too much. I feel like it was just a mix of like everything that was going on at the same time. Like obviously the inability after like I want to say we weren't able to actually like go out and do stuff from March to I want to say they started opening around up stuff around August, but then it wasn't really open, and then there was another peak around that time, so places started closing and doing that stuff again. So it's like the inability to like really do anything that during the like fall part of the semester, because obviously during the summer you're like even though you weren't like doing like I guess like going out and having fun in the sense of like going to like amusement parks, water parks, doing all that type of stuff, it would be like you'd still go out, be able to like go and play basketball with some people or do some of that, hang out like at certain people's houses, like as long as you weren't going out too much, it wasn't much of an issue. But like once it started getting colder, you couldn't really go outside to do other stuff. Everybody else was like going like there was a lot of people who were just going back towards like to college or like to where their school like closer to where their school was, whether it was like being on campus or off campus. It was like
Mm.
once you have like that and you know everybody else is like kind of like having to get into it, and I feel like this semester they gave it a lot more work than the other semesters just felt like. I don't know if it was like just me or like something that I felt, but it just felt like we were doing a lot more stuff than other semesters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. No, no, low key. Like, I feel like, especially for my school, right? You know, like even though everything was like on, because like we didn't have like any like in person classes. Everything was online. All exams were online and stuff like that. Open note, but like they definitely made exams so much harder to a point where like even using your notes wasn't even helpful. Like I know for me, like I took like this call. Sorry. So I took this class called Applied Quantitative Analysis, and like when I was reading the reviews online back when it was in person, it seemed like it was just like a chill class. You should do fine. But like literally for like the midterm, basically he like before we took it, he was like, "Oh yeah, I made the midterm in a way where like half of you guys probably wouldn't even finish." And then And then like I was just like, okay, low key, like that's cap because everything's online, and like I literally typed up all of my notes on like a Google Doc. It should be fine, right? And like literally, the exam was like 12 questions, but each question had like their own sub question. It's like an A, B, and C. So it ended up being like 36 questions, and I'm pretty sure I only finished like 20 questions on that test because it was so long. And like so many people were complaining just in general about professors because even though everything was online, like they made like I feel like they didn't scale like the difficulty of their exams in a way where like you could still do well. But I guess like in the end like it still wasn't that bad because like we have great inflation and everything. But like it was just difficult during that time, bro.
Our classes are definitely. I feel like they aren't necessarily more difficult. I think that most of our teachers at least transitioned. There's like a lot of problems with Zoom itself that teachers were like having trouble with, like recording lectures and like
Mm.
people. There was like my math, so I took probability semester, and I had to be on Zoom, and our tests were not open notes, and I had to be on Zoom, and so like
Mhm.
there was like problems with people like not being able to log in on time, or like the teacher wasn't there and we didn't know if we could start yet, and then us having to like complete a 3 hour or 2 hour exam in like an hour and a half, and so like just like losses of time and stuff like that, and then we had to submit everything online. I think that's what made it harder. The classes themselves, I don't feel like were necessarily harder. They just
Mhm.
took a lot more time, like I was saying before. Like every assignment, I felt like took way more time to complete than I would have like done previous years. Like I feel like previously, I would like go to office hours, and I may be in office hours for like 3 hours, but I would finish all my assignments for like the week. But like I would spend 3 hours on one is now it's spend 3 hours on like one assignment, and all me and like my group of friends, we would be working on this assignment for the whole 3 hours and I actually get nowhere.
Bruh.
And so that's what sucks, because it was at least okay. So for what would happen is like we would start doing the assignment, like we're thinking on the right path, right, and we're doing all this work, and then we get to an answer. Answer doesn't make sense. So we're like, okay,
Mhm.
let's figure out what's wrong, and then realize we've done the problem in a completely wrong way. Erase all the work, restart, and now so we like all the time that we spent doing it the first time is now wasted. We basically have to start from the jump again and redo the problem, and this happened like multiple times. Before, what would happen was like we would go to office hours. The TA would at least point us in the right direction. She'd be like, or he'd be like, "Hey, start here. This is how you start. How to do it. If you need help while you're doing it, like come back. But like this is how you start." So we wouldn't end up in the wrong place. But now we were constantly ending up in the wrong, like starting in the wrong place, and then having to restart in a different place. Just terrible.
That's what I'm saying. It
Oh,
was just
low
like,
key, that's good because like I know like literally like problem sets were like a reason why I dropped the class at the beginning of the semester. I was supposed to take like discrete math, which normally at Yale is like an okay course, but we got like a new professor this year, and like every new professor has like something to prove, right? So then, so then basically he was giving us these P sets, and I was just like, yo, these P sets shouldn't be that hard, How come like I didn't hear about any of this during lectures? Because like I was going and reading the textbook. I asked
Mhm.
the TA, he's like, oh yeah, so like basically, this professor he's going faster than usual, and then basically like the piece set that I was doing during my first week in that class, he said that he did that piece at a month and a half in when he took it as a regular student. So then I was just like, how do you go a month and a half's worth of material ahead and you put that on the first like problem set that we're doing? So that was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna protect my mental health. I like literally, and like it was so difficult because like it was like after we submitted our courses and everything, so everything was technically finalized. So I had to like go beg my dean to like let me drop this class, but then in order to do that I had to find like another class to take. So that's what made me find like the like that like applied quantitative analysis course, and
Mhm.
then like help me take that, and then like everything was good. But like I would have stayed in that class if the TAs were fine, right? But I felt like the professor did everything he could to make sure that like this course was hard for you. Because I would go into office hours, I'd be like, hey, can you look at my work, and like, and then kind of, explain my, process to you. Can you like, just help me out? And then he was like, oh, sorry, I like received like, strict rules from the professor to, not tell you if your answer is right, nor tell you if the process that you have is correct, or like if your thinking is right. I was like,
then that ruins upon office hours.
exactly. At that point, what is the purpose of office hours? What's the purpose at that point?
That guy's just looking at you doing it. He can't give you.
Yeah, bro.
That was better. That was better than some of my office hours. I had office hours where the teacher didn't want to talk about work. Rather, she wanted to just catch up with us. We were like, we need help.
Nah, bro.
She wants to have a relationship with us, and we need help. I don't know what you're expecting, but
we need one reason, man.
to get the answer.
I don't want to hear about your cat.
Exactly, bro. I don't want to hear about you. But like honestly, like I feel like it's harder for y'all because like Mason/UVA will actually fail you if they want to. It's like for Yale, it's like you're guaranteed like a C+ or a B-.
Join the call.
We were. The fact that you got Yale does that.
Let's let Deezy tell the entire thing for it, man. Tell us what the A in Yale means to you and everything. Tell the entire story.
Don't tell us. Tell the people.
Yeah. Of course. Don't worry. Like the Black Joe Rogan will.
You can't
speak now. So basically, so like my first semester, I like dropped my CS course. And then before I dropped, my dean was like, just telling me that I should like stick it out. But then, I like out of like 170 students, I like scored the lowest on like the midterm. I think I got like a 30%. I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's time to dip and like, not do the CS major anymore. And then, I was, just telling him, hey, like I'm also doing, bad in my other classes. So like, do you have any, just advice that, like you have for me? And then he looked me straight in the eye and told me, Deon, don't worry. The only A that matters on a Yale transcript is the one between the Y and the L. And like, honestly, ever since then, I took that to heart. Because after that, like I found out how like Yale doesn't really fail people and stuff like that, and like you can't really get anything less than a C+, and like everything is curved. So I was like, you know what, bro? Why am I stressed? At that point, why am I stressed? So like I was kind of glad because like if I went to like UVA or Cornell, right? If I got a 40% on an exam, that would actually be a 40%. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine like a 40% actually being an F. I can't.
Yo.
Like, bro. Like, I'm just
like,
wow.
That's insane to me. That's insane to me still.
That's crazy.
Just like the evil within that sentence. I can't even process how a 40% would be.
Facts.
It's like mathematically it makes sense, but like with my Ivy League privilege, like I just don't get it.
You said mathematically it makes sense, but with my Ivy League privilege.
With my Ivy League privilege, man. This guy's
well, okay, Loki, not even Ivy League privilege, just like Yale.
Because Cornell, I'm pretty sure.
Cornell literally curves down, bro. In some classes, they literally curve down, bro.
No, they do that.
I could never.
I've gotten curved down of an A.
Yeah.
Really, they curved down? What's the point of that though?
It was a 1 credit course though. Like it was a lab where pretty much everybody had an A, and so they were like, because people are doing so well, we need to curve down. We need to curve it down to look more like a bell curve. It's basically what they explained to us.
Wait, so then basically, okay, because everybody worked hard and did well, we need to make sure some people don't do as well as they deserve.
It was a physics lab. It wasn't hard to do well. It wasn't hard to do well. It was like the physics lab director took it upon himself to make the class a lot harder. Like he got TAs and basically told them to be as nitpicky as possible with our lab reports. And, and we were still doing well. Like at least me and my group and most people, I feel like we're doing well. But then our class average was like a 94, right? And he was like, okay, basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a 94 an A minus. Right? And so if you have less than a 94, no, you're getting a B plus. Like no, you're not getting an A. And so
that's actually messed up.
He like literally like our because usually it's like A minus is a 3.7, right? He took our 3.7 and made it a 3.5. And so he just took it and basically made them all B's, and then was like, "No, you're not getting an A if you have less than a 94." Guess what your boy had? 93.
I was hoping I was like, at least this guy got an A minus at 93. Dude, that's
No,
devilish.
I got a B plus.
That's a report to the dean.
I'd
I'm not
be
taking
mad, bro.
that in
I'd
Steve.
snitch on the
Hey,
dude.
but you can't.
I'd snitch.
You couldn't talk. You can't talk to this guy. This guy is. He used to be a Go Place CrossFit champion or something like that. He was telling us, and he literally scares the crap out of people. Like he looks like a monster, and he's Russian. Yo,
Bruh.
not to be racist or anything, but like or culturist or whatever. But this man was like the epitome of what you feel like Russian people are. Like all the stereotypes of what Russians are. It felt like this man was it. Like
This guy was the villain in the James Bond movies.
facts, no. Like his voice was high and everything. Like he was just super buff, but his voice was high, and he would talk to you in a belittling way. Like everything about it was just like, this man is definitely Russian.
Bro, nah, I could never.
Yeah, nah. For me,
It's not fun.
that was the. It was like so. First semester of sophomore year, I was taking Calc 3, and I had it with. And the worst part about it is that the moment I took this professor, and I was talking to Toby about it, right? I told Toby, the professor that I took, and he was all like, he told me immediately. He said, "Drop the class."
No, some people be telling you the same thing. You have to listen to them.
And I was like, "Wait, did you have him?" He said, "No, I never had him, but I've only heard bad things." And I was like, "You know what? I think that I got it." And like the way he explained his grading policy at first, I was like, "You know what? I think that I'm gonna do good." The way he explained his grading policy, it was really just about the test. So there was no homeworks, no nothing. He didn't give us any reviews, anything. So it was like he basically got the middle, like the average for the test, right? And all he did was count how below or above you were from that average. So let's say, so basically, if the average was a 90, then if you got a 91, then you were only 1 point above the average, and you would count up the total amount of points. And then at the end of the year, he would count up the total amount of points, and then depending on where your points values fall on the number line, he would be like, "All right, this is your grade." He would really decide on the
Wait,
spot.
what?
That's your grade.
This is a scam. This is
What?
That's not even the worst part. If he feels like the numbers are too inflated, he literally said it in class. He was all like, "If I feel like the numbers are too inflated, then I'll make it harder, like harder to get an A."
What's the point of, bro?
Dude, man, I was literally in Calc 2 with this one, like, no stereotypes, but he was Asian, and he was literally saying how like he got an A in Calc 2, he got an A in university physics. He's never gotten like anything lower than like a B plus in a class. Dog,
What college did he go to?
Dog, he got out of that class crying after like. Me and my guys were all like, "Yo, you good?" He was like, "Yo, I got a C. This is my first time getting a B plus in any class." I was like, "Yo." That's when and then after that, we took Calc 3.
Dang, bro, I'd be so mad.
That was
like,
the worst.
Like, especially when they try to make things like harder for no reason. Because I remember, like, I took Calc 2, and like my like professor had the flu and had to like leave for a week, so like we had to like substitute teacher, and like literally, like the guy would just like basically teach like like a concept that's like so easy, like I think like taking integrals, right? But then he would describe it in a way where it's like just so confusing. And like he would, talk fast, write fast on the chalkboard, and then he would smile at the end. He would like, like turn his head towards us, smile, and it's like, "Okay, let's continue." I'm just like, bro, like this ain't a game. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like some professors, exactly, bro. I feel like some professors, like they be like treating this like a reality TV show where like like their job is to make sure that you can like confuse students, like the best way you can,
and see if they still do well. Facts.
And see if they still do well.
Yo, man, like literally the first like, not even the first like. He talked about it like for the first like 20 to 30 minutes of the first class, but he would always bring it up afterwards because he wasn't from America, so he was like from Britain or something, and
Mm-hmm.
he kept talking about how he was like, well, I don't know why you guys learn multivariables so late. Like honestly, the American teaching system is so bad, and he was just go off on a tangent about the American teaching system at a random times for like randomly. So it's like we didn't even begin the full lesson, so he would have to speed up even more just so he could say he covered a certain amount.
That's
Bruh.
bro. There's like multiple people. Some of my friends wanted to get a math minor, and multiple people I know have dropped the math minor because of our math director, whose name I shall not name, but she is the worst math teacher that I've ever had. She literally will not teach you what's on the test. Like I have now had her twice, and I completely regret both times I've had her. I've had her for differential equations and now probability, and both times I just made a mistake. Like I don't know why after differential equations I thought I would take it with probability. I don't know why I did that to myself. So like there's two other probability teachers, but they were like harder times, and I didn't want to take it. And she was like the best time for me, and so that's why I decided to take it with her. But we had assignments every day, like in class worksheets with a group every day, and ours was graded. Both other teachers were extra credit. Like the assignments were extra credit to them. Like people would literally not come to class because that was especially because it was online. So people would not come to class just because the only thing they needed to do was the assignment. They would do the assignment prior, turn it in when class opened up, and just not come to class. Ours were mandatory and graded. And for our exams, bro, I promise you this. Like almost every question I looked at, I felt like I never learned, or I felt like if I hadn't read the textbook, I would not have known this. All her lectures were like pre-recorded. She's just a terrible teacher.
Bro, pre-recorded lectures.
Pre-recorded. She even recorded this semester. She was literally chilling. She recorded it. She recorded it over the summer, and so all her notes and lectures are all from the summer. So she really wasn't doing anything. But she speaks like we're sixth graders. Doesn't explain her work. Doesn't explain these problems that she's doing. Go to class and like, yeah, she goes through. We in class. We would like try to ask her a question like from the worksheet. We'd be like, okay, we don't understand necessarily what we're supposed to do, but like ask her a question from the notes, and she would be like, I don't know why this is so difficult. Like I don't know why you're not getting this. I explained this in the lecture so well, and like just up herself well. I want to say, can you really say that if everybody else doesn't know what's going on? Can you say that you've done a good job if everyone around you is saying that you haven't? Which is basically what she did. But she's the director, and after probability, she teaches all higher level maths. So all my friends who are like, I'm gonna get a math minor just because I'm already taking I already took so many math classes that I might as well just take the next two classes that I need. But because she's the one teaching it, all of them have dropped.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait. Hold up. Say that last part again.
Because she's the one that all my friends who wanted to take the math minor because they have already taken so many math classes.
Oh, like they just all dropped.
Yeah, they all dropped because all the higher level math classes are taught by her. But because she's such a terrible teacher, they're like, I'd rather not put myself through that situation. I'd rather not take a class again with her. So I'm just not going to do the math minor, even though I could, or even though I have enough credits to do it.
Bro, I'd be mad because it's not even like honestly, I can understand how they feel because literally I decided to switch to get the Bachelor of Arts in stats and data science instead of the science, literally because like there's one professor that I would need to take both of my courses in order to get the BS for, and like he's just known for being like notoriously bad. It's like I'm pretty sure he has like the lowest rating on our course table thing. Like out of 5, I think he's like a 2.1, which is considered like pretty low. So I was like, yeah, honestly, I took like the whole only A that matters is one between the Y and the L, and just went ahead and like just did the BA, right?
I feel like if I was even gonna get a C minus in his class though, I would do it. Like that's passing. I would do
Really,
it.
a C
I would.
minus?
I would do it.
It depends. I don't know. I wouldn't want to.
I
I
feel
wouldn't
like
want a C minus. I wouldn't want a C minus. If I'm at a C or higher, definitely.
I mean, I don't think that I would get a C minus, but if I was gonna get a C minus and I would still get my degree at the end of the day,
Hmm.
and I was going to Yale, I feel like I would do it.
Oh,
It's
I
like
mean, wait. Going
at
to
the end of the
Yale? Oh, hell
like
yeah.
I'm talking
But like,
about in
but like at that point though,
in
right?
these situation.
Hmm. But like, I feel like well,
I thought you
maybe
were
like
talking about for
it's
us when
just
you did it
different for
for
me.
I don't know. I thought for us.
But now, like, even though because like since I'm here, it's like I can literally major in whatever I want and like end up at whatever company. Well, like not like whatever company, because I definitely like applied to like a lot of tech companies trying to get like a data science internship and like got rejected. But like I could literally major in history and somehow get like a finance job at Goldman Sachs. You know,
Just
it's like
keep
so many
going.
students here, their degrees don't exactly correlate with what they're doing in the future. Like it's crazy.
This man does not have any confidence, but he has arrogance, man. Yeah, he doesn't have any confidence in like in supporting his country and supporting it and like and in himself. But he has the arrogance, bro. He's like, well, I can go and get whatever I want. Be a history major. Give me a finance job.
Bro.
Just do whatever.
Bro, okay. First of all, the whole Jollof thing. I thought we agreed that like it was just a mischaracterization of my words.
We definitely didn't agree on that.
You said that. You said that, my guy.
We definitely told you to
Bro.
fuck up and defend your
Bro,
people.
how can I defend when everybody there is Nigerian, bro? I can't just, bro.
That's how we started talking about if there's anything we've learned from anime is that one man armies can wreck like thousand man army. It doesn't matter. Just know
this
your
means
facts.
is Deezy needs to
Know
get
the
his weight
truth.
up, man. D needs to become Big D. That's all I'm gonna say.
Stop! Don't do that.
Facts.
Don't do. You see, bro. I knew, like, like deep in my mind, I knew that you were finding some type of way to call me Big D in this thing, and you finally found a way. Congratulations,
Get your weight up, man. That's all I'm saying.
bruh. That's a bitch.
All right. Well, going from like all these like teachers, institutions that are lacking in self-awareness, I guess the only way to go from the only way to go from here is to talk about some other people that lack self-awareness. So what y'all think about that storming of the Capitol, man? That greatness, man, making America great again, right?
Yo, Loki. Like, quick question though, right? Like about that. Me and Ryan were having an argument, right? But like, pretend that like this was like Clash of Clans. Would you say that the Capitol got 3-starred?
No,
You say
it was definitely like a 2. It was definitely like a 2-star. It was definitely like a 2. It was definitely.
But nah, bro.
Hey,
Like,
it was like their king got destroyed, but not necessarily the town hall. It was like they approached from the front. Their king got destroyed because there's that one man who got into like Nancy Pelosi's office. That was like their king or queen being destroyed right there. The fact that he wrote a threat in there, that was like their king or queen being destroyed. But I feel like the town hall was saved. I feel like I don't know.
At the end of it, it was safe. Yeah, nah, I think
they stole stuff from the town hall.
Oh, the elixirs and the gold was gone.
Yeah, nah, they ran through that joint, man. Seeing people walk out with podiums and everything. Just the fact that they like the doors were just being open and all the barricades and everything. That joint was crazy. Like,
bro,
it wasn't even like a clash. They really just let him in and said take all our stuff.
Exactly, bro. That's really what they did.
I was so sick about that. Like I was talking to my dad about it too, and it just blew me the fact that police officers kind of just let them win. Like if it had been a crowd of black people, no way. They would have started shooting the minute they started forming. At the minute they started forming up, they would have started shooting. But because they're white people, they're literally like, hey, wait, you want to come inside the Capitol? Oh, go ahead. You have guns? Oh, go ahead. Wait, you mean you want to vandalize and destroy? Oh, go ahead.
Like, bro, that's the crazy part because I'm just like, these people were literally armed, had explosives. Like, I'm just like,
Molotov,
Molotov,
like
bro, Molotovs.
bro, these guys are
I
really
was
going
like,
in like
bro,
Call of Duty. They man, these guys are really spawning into Warzone. They said we're going in. That was
going
crazy.
in, bro. Like,
dude. And then our president for the next 11 days is coming out and helping them. Like, yes, continue to destroy
yo,
our legislation. Really?
low key,
Like,
that blew me. That blew me too because like I think before his like account was like suspended and like ultimately banned during the riots, like he was literally telling people, "Oh yeah, go home." But then like he just kept reiterating the fact that like I understand that you're mad, like I understand that the election was taken away from us, but we care about you, we love you, like you gotta go home. Like I'm just like, what does that fix? Like you're still telling people that the election was rigged, first of all, and that's all they came there to do.
Yeah,
So I'm
nah, people are
just like
just get.
posting a video. That's stupid.
Yeah, nah. Honestly, the thing about that, like, because it makes him seem. This is obviously in the eyes of the people who like, I guess, respect him.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like in the eyes of people who respect him, they would like see that as him just conceding, but understanding that it's unfair, like basically being humble about it. And it's like how like when people like don't seek justice for themselves, you feel like that it's your duty to go and seek justice for them.
Hmm.
I feel like that's what he was kind of doing. He was kind of basically playing the victim. So like his supporters would go ahead and like go and be on that rampage, which is what I thought was absolutely crazy. I thought that was absolutely bonkers. I don't know.
you
It,
can't say this man isn't smart.
oh no, no,
That's
no.
what I'll say.
He's smart in the sense that he knows how to like go through bend the rules and like never actually get caught. Like I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm surprised he didn't get impeached. Like it was
No,
crazy to me.
no, that's facts. That's facts.
Oh yeah,
He really cheated our legislation.
Like, and then
yeah,
Our
the
yeah.
worst
judicial
part about
system,
it, all
honestly.
the conservatives that like voted against his impeachment were all like, yeah, no. Even though we think that what he did was bad, we think that it's too much to take his job. We think that he really actually learned his lesson. And then like when a reporter, literally like I think it was either that day or the next day, a reporter asked him like, "Did you learn like your lesson? Do you like understand
He
what you
said
did
no.
wrong?"
Yes,
And he
Oh
I
said
heard
yeah,
that
yeah.
no.
too.
He said he
Homie
didn't
said
do
that he
anything
didn't do
wrong.
anything wrong.
I was like, I was like, y'all really let this go? It was,
Bro, like that was
It was
such the
like
crazy part because
if they
like I
can
feel
incarcerate. Go ahead.
yeah because like, I feel like like if this was any other president that didn't have that much influence, right? Like they would have actually voted to impeach and remove this guy because like at first like they were like, oh, nothing happened on that call. Then they're like, oh yeah, there was no like so what term did they use, like a quid pro quo or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's no quid pro quo.
Then like literally like his speaker like came out and said, okay, yeah, there was a quid pro quo, so what? um and then he's like, okay, I mean like it's bad, but like it's not worth like removing from the office. And like low key though, I knew that he wasn't gonna get removed from the beginning
Yeah,
because like when the
100%.
Senate voted to like not have witnesses,
Facts,
which I'm just
facts.
like, bro, why is there even a vote for that to not have witnesses? Like, isn't
Um,
that like kind of like what's needed in
That's in a
any
way that's obstruction.
case, bro?
Just,
Like, I'm just like, what is that,
I
bro?
mean, I don't even think the witnesses would have showed up to be real.
I don't.
Like the
Oh,
way that,
really?
because a lot of people's jobs are threatened. Like a lot of people's jobs were being threatened by just his acts and the way the way that he was acting.
So
And
the
so people were literally like, I, they don't feel safe. Like I don't feel like that's why that Republicans have so many employees that were quiet about like what they knew that Trump was doing because he was threatening people's job, like threatening to fire people, threatening to basically shun like not shun them, but like give them a bad image or like reputation.
I mean, yeah,
But
no, that's 100% because I think there was actually like I remember first year, maybe year and a half of his presidency, he was like cycling through people. Like people would like in his cabinet would be getting like removed. He would have somebody new. I don't know how like far he got into that, but I know there was like I remember there was a black woman that got fired. There was like 2 white people that randomly got fired from this cabinet. It was just like,
Yeah.
and they would all end up writing books, making money, saying, talking
I
about,
survived Donald Trump's presidency. No, it's like, no.
dog. The crazy thing, like, I don't know, the fact that like you had to wait until you got fired or quote unquote quit before you were willing to like say, oh yeah, all the bad things in the presidency. I don't know. I don't think you deserve to have a good reputation after that because you allowed it to happen for a decent amount of time, bro, while you were still receiving that paycheck, and then now you're profiting off of the secrets that you helped protect and you helped come to be. I don't know. In a sense, that's just kind of disgusting.
I see what you mean, but I feel like I can't blame them for like for not siding with not necessarily siding with it, but not like enacting their own like fighting for it. If that makes sense.
I don't know.
It's hard to stand up to a man of like that powerful, really. Like this man has the power, like has enough power to like go to war with another country, like off a whim. If he really really wanted to, bro, he could just be like, you know what, Russia's not looking very good. Let's go to war. Like off rip for no reason. Like no, like that's his power to like go up and be like, hey, what I think you're doing is wrong. Is what a democracy is about. Like as a democracy, that's what we should be. That's like the point. We should be able to do that. But to actually go and do it, I don't know. That's rough. It's not an easy thing to do. Is what I've just what I've BP.
I feel
So I
that.
feel like I can't blame them. I can't be like it's all your fault that Trump got this far. Like I can't do that.
Oh no, no, I'm not saying it's like all. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like in the sense that you can't complain about like kind of like the issues that are coming out, like that are happening when you're one of the causes of it, and like when you had the power and ability to stop it, you didn't. That's what I mean. I'm not like outwardly blaming them. It's just like
Mm.
I feel as though like a lot of this is like lack of like it's not even just like the people who like got fired from Trump's cabinet. I feel as though in like the United States government, there's a lack of self responsibility in the sense that what they're like literally put in there, like put there to do, like whether it is like the COVID bills and everything, where they're supposed to be like doing stimulus, where almost every other country has been like giving out a monthly stimulus that was bigger than the stimulus that we even
A
got in
lot
this time.
bigger.
Yeah, like people would be
Oh
getting
my god.
2,000. I think Canada or some place got like 3,000 a month. Like people, like other places are rolling out monthly stimulus, and we're still sitting here struggling to see like when people are gonna get their like second one. So it's like in that sense, I feel as though all like people in politics, there's just a certain self responsibility that they all tend to like dodge, and where they're like, oh, it's all the Republicans' fault, or oh, it's the Democrats' fault. They're the reason because of what they're stopping us from doing. Things aren't getting further ahead instead of actually trying to work together and like come up with the best solution. But
Yeah, that I do agree with.
but I don't know. For in the sense of like everything that happened at the Capitol, like all of us knew it was happening. I didn't know the exact date. Like I remember it was the 6th, right? I was just literally on my computer. And I was just like working on some stuff, trying to see if I
Mm-hmm.
can knock out a certificate. And one of my friends was like, "Yo, have you seen what's happening in DC?" I go look at it, and I'm like, "Yo, they actually did it." Because like I had heard the like a day or two previous that like people were trying to try and see if they could sneak guns in or get guns into DC because it's illegal for people who aren't like police or like authorized to have it. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
there was already talks that people they were trying to sneak guns in. I just didn't know when they were gonna do it, and I also
Yeah.
didn't think they were gonna get that far. To be completely
No
honest, like
facts.
the
There was
last
someone
issue
who
of
was
the US.
there super early in the morning. Like he jumped down and sat at the I'm pretty sure it's the general attorney's like seat on the Senate floor.
Yeah, I was like, do you guys don't have anyone like stopping people from bringing ladders to climb the walls? And honestly, this is a funny point that I saw on Twitter. It was all like Trump supporters proving that the wall wouldn't have worked. They had the picture
Yo.
climbing the wall with their
You were climbing the wall, bro. Like the hypocrisy is just so crazy, bro. Because because I'm just like when looking at like everything that happened there and just like comparing it to like BLM protests and stuff like that, like I'm just like the DC Capitol Police definitely knew like something like this was coming because like there was literally like I'm not sure like if y'all saw this, but like there's literally like a flyer called like Raid the Capitol on
Yeah,
January 6th that was like literally floating around WhatsApp and
yeah.
like Facebook and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo,
I did not know this. Yo.
really, bro, it was literally like going around. So like the fact that like they weren't prepared. Okay, now like to be fair, I've never heard of like people bringing like guns and like like explosives and like molotovs to protest
They
and
did
stuff like that.
they did. Not
Oh yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
Molotovs and everything, but if you remember, around when Corona actually was starting, and they were
Uh
like
huh.
storming their state Capitol buildings and everything. I remember it
Hmm.
for Virginia and I think Texas, people actually like were pulling up with guns in front of like protesting in front of like the governor's
Oh wait, like is
mansions
that
and
when they were
everything.
protesting like the closing
Yeah.
of like stores and stuff like, bro,
Hmm.
that still blows me, bro. Cause like
And
I'm
they
just
brought
like
guns. I was like, damn.
exactly. And like what blew me is that like some of these guns were actually probably most of these guns were loaded too.
Yeah, locked and
Facts.
loaded.
They
They just
think. I
fired.
mean, I can see a black person forgetting to bring bullets, but white people, heck no.
Like, bro, it's crazy. It's actually crazy because like I'm just like if I were to have done that, right? Or like if like any black person were to have done that, it would have been game over in
Bro,
seconds.
I
There
forgot.
would have been
I was watching a
snipers at the
YouTube
top of
video.
the Capitol, bro, just sniping people one by one, right when they like just like get up the stairs, snipe, snipe, snipe. Like
That's what the fact
it's
that there
just
was no
ridiculous.
protection to such a raid, like
Exactly, bro.
Bro,
I'm just
like this was like this is actual terrorists. Like this is terrorism.
yeah,
yeah.
And you know what the wild part is? This is not the first time the Capitol has been attacked like this. Like remember, I don't know if you guys remember the Civil War, but the Capitol was burned down by supremacists, basically white
Wait,
supremacists.
seriously?
yo, and
Bro,
they're bringing the same flag of the people who burned
facts,
down the Capitol. That's
facts,
crazy.
facts. The
Bro.
Capitol was that's remember how how the Star Spangled Banner was created, right?
You know, I
How was it
actually
created?
I remember I thought it was at a battle. I didn't know it was like I didn't know where that
I'm
battle
pretty sure
was.
I could totally be wrong. I am fairly certain that the Capitol was
We gotta look
burned
these
down.
up. Star. I don't know if
Yeah,
it
let's
was
see.
that. It
It
was.
might just be a story.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see.
But nah, if that's the story behind the Star Spangled Banner, then
Because there's,
honestly,
I remember there being a photo of like the Capitol being burned down, and like some guy on a boat, like sailing away while watching the Capitol being burned down.
so apparently that it was for the War of 1812. So it was the British. On a rainy September 13th, 1814, British warships sent a downpour of shells and rockets onto Fort McHenry in Baltimore Harbor, pounding the American fort for 25 hours. The bombardment, known as the Battle of Baltimore, came only weeks after the British had attacked Washington, D.C., burning the Capitol, the Treasury, and the President's house. So I think it was like then.
It was the British, so it was the
The
British,
British.
not
It was the
Mm.
British.
my fault.
I mean, still white people, don't worry.
Oh, just not our white people.
Yeah, just not our white people. The other one.
Just
Oh,
yeah, the other ones.
you know,
I mean,
it's honestly
it was just wild to think that this could happen. One, like in a democracy. Like my grandma was telling me just how if this had been in Ghana or like this had been in another state, the military would have came quick and shot like shots would have been fired or like in a third world country. This would not have gotten as far. Like they
yeah,
would
no,
never have
no way.
gotten past the security. Like shots would be fired.
Definitely. Like, people would have died.
People would be dead.
Like, bro, imagine,
the cops
bro.
lost lives, more lives than the people. Like,
even in
like,
this
bro.
country, I remember during the BLM protests, it was literally like they were literally like detaining reporters for reporting.
facts.
Even though,
Oh yeah,
like,
bro. Somebody was
reporter.
like literally detained during their like CNN
yeah, that's
interview.
what
I remember. I
exactly
was
what
watching it
I was
live,
talking about.
bro.
Yeah, they literally
I was
grabbed
watching
like,
it live, and homie literally grabs him and was like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, can you tell me why I'm being arrested?" And he couldn't even answer that question.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just the very fact that that was just going on. They're shooting like rubber bullets, like straight at people when you're supposed to aim it off at the floor and let it bounce.
Facts.
Like, it was just actually terrible. Like,
Yeah,
the
bro.
lack of freaking like I guess even just urgency, like to even like try to stop them. Like, there was even like they didn't even seem like they tried. They literally opened up the barricades. There were very old people going there, so they had to be walked up those steps. So the police were helping people walk up steps and everything. Like, it should have been a slow moving.
Oh, I
protest,
saw that
but
too, bro.
Like,
I was so upset.
I just, honestly, let me make sure I know these words. So give me a second.
But low key, imagine. Wait. Oh wow. Okay. Well, like, do y'all like remember Jerry John Rawlins from Ghana?
Jerry John Rawlins. That name sounds
Mhm.
familiar.
Apparently, like, he was like a military officer, and like he was like known for like literally, killing like a lot of people. I just found out that he passed away in November. I didn't even know. But like, I was talking to my mom, and she was just like, imagine if like Jerry John Rawlins was like running this. It's like there wouldn't even have been like a riot to begin with because of like how dangerous this guy was.
Facts.
But dang, it's just crazy, bro. Yeah.
And now they're talking about him being impeached again.
Yeah. Which, like, honestly, though, it's like, okay, even though he like goes away in like 2 weeks, if they impeach him and the Senate removes him, then he's not able to run for president again. And like, if that's the case, if that's what they're aiming for, then I'm definitely down with that. Because like, this man can definitely win the nomination in 2024.
What I want to know is the reason I don't want him to continue to be like I want to be impeached because this man is trying to figure out a way for him to get a pass. I forgot what it's called. Like he's been giving out these pardons. He's been pardoning people.
Yeah, bro. He pardoned Lil Wayne, bro.
Yeah, I wanna see why he needs a pardon. What you need a pardon for? What have you done that you feel like you need a pardon for? And I feel like if we impeach him, or like if we don't impeach him, that's gonna come to fruition. No, I feel like not even if it's going to come to fruition. But I definitely, because I feel like he needs to be tried as a regular citizen, not as whatever. Yeah,
that is true.
No way.
I don't know.
But I also feel what Biden said too. He was like the point of to impeach this guy is not going to do anything. He's going to be gone no matter what in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like you guys can impeach him, you cannot. But the fact of the matter is that he's going to be gone at the end of the day. He can still he can definitely still do a lot of hurt and a lot of damage in his time left. But really, he needs to figure out what life is going to be like after. Because they don't know how I don't know. I'm not saying that. This is not premeditated or anything. You don't know how many assassins could be after this man. You don't know what kind of people are looking for him. Because
I'm sorry, this man's not. This man, like, I feel like if he was gonna get assassinated, it would have happened already. Just in the sense that like now it's just like because you have to keep in mind like it's not like the president makes a lot of money from his actual paycheck. What happens is all the deals and everything that's happening in the like behind the scenes or like getting hidden inside some of the documents and paperwork. For example, like literally the stimulus bill that they had done. The reason like they literally said it was so long that nobody in like Congress or whatever were actually in the legislative were actually able to finish reading through the entire thing before they had to sign it. They had so much random stuff in there. So many behind the scenes stuff that nobody could actually like know what was going on. Like there was money getting sent like for gender programs, money getting sent for like to just to help militaries in other places. Money even getting sent to like further bolden up the military. Freaking funding for the space force,
Bruh.
which literally should just come from military funding. Like it's just all this other stuff that they are working around behind the scenes that isn't helping like Americans in any shape or way, but like it still was still tagged on to a bill that was for Americans. So like I don't know. I don't feel like any like I don't feel like impeaching him is gonna do anything. I don't even think like he's gonna be still be president by the time like the impeachment stuff would happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't think impeaching him is gonna do anything because like I don't feel like but like even when he does get impeached, what is it was not like they did anything for him. He's still gonna have his like golf courses. He's still gonna have his mansions. Still gonna have his hotels for the most part.
I
He's
don't
still
know.
gonna have
I just
all the money he get on the side.
I honestly just don't believe. I don't understand what about him or what about the way he does things that people are in love with. Like I understand that he's done it well. I can't say like our economy hasn't got better, that our unemployment rates are as like are super low, because they're like he's done well. But his
Mm,
personality, the way that he acts as a person,
some of
is just
those are
something I can't vibe with.
some of so about those. Some of those are literally like reflections of like Obama like stuff that are actually like finally coming to fruition after like they got the adequate funding and the foundations were already built. I don't know how much I want to like give him for some of those because like literally those like a lot of the rates literally went up before he even like did anything when he went into office. Rather, it was just like it was already like the unemployment rates were already falling, like stuff were already like going towards the upside. In fact, I think he might have made unemployment jump, but it's hard to like measure just because of the virus and everything.
Hmm. That's fair.
Yeah.
And I heard something about that, but I think that I don't know. I just feel like there still has to be some credit where credit is due, even though I don't think he deserves all the credit.
Like this chart only goes up to
It's
27.
hard. I don't know. I can't mess with this man. This personality is what gets me. I just don't feel. I don't understand what people see in him fully. I don't understand it fully. And I think that like what also bugs me is just the way that he talks to his people. Like the way that he talks to his influencers, the way that like from the videos that at least I have seen of his like rallies, he's not necessarily he like he puts on a better face than he is. Like he feels 50, like he feels fake.
Yeah.
Like if you meet him outside of his like it's like as though the person you're looking at right now is not how he would act if you meet him in like his house.
Yeah, in private, like where all the cameras are off, when it's
Yeah.
just you and him.
And I don't know if I don't know if I could get over that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just to let you guys know, I did throw a graph in there. I don't.
Oh, wait, with the unemployment.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, so GW Bush pushed it all the way up. Obama like brought it back down to like where basically literally even by the end he had already like brought it back down to like where like it was when GW like in '05 basically it already kind of brought it to those levels. Trump didn't really move it that further past, but I think it would have stayed like at that level for a while for probably the entirety of Trump's joint. I feel as though if it wasn't for the virus, obviously assuming everything still like happened, like Biden still won the presidency and everything, assuming that, I feel as though it would have been stagnant to the same extent. But when the moment Biden took office, all of the like reform acts and everything that Trump basically had already put into place, once they start actually like impacting the rates and everything, it would look like
Hmm.
Biden actually increased it rather than actually.
Oh, rather than
Yeah, but that's just looking at it like that. But I don't know. In general, like for this, like just for like the storming the Capitol wise, and then like I'll get into how like Trump, I guess, and him leaving. In general, storming the Capitol, like it was literally just a surprise. Like the fact that they're able to do it, get so far, and like because the thing is that I always felt so interesting about Trump supporters, especially the poor ones, because the rich ones were all like, oh yeah, no, we didn't really support him, but like our wallets. So it's like,
yeah, bro. Them tax cuts.
Mm,
yeah,
bit different.
bro, man, you better not let me get to the point where I'm making 500K, man. I might have to always vote Republican.
Oh, don't let me get there.
That's what I'm saying, man. Don't let me. But like the poor ones. That's what I never understood. Because it's like he's not making life any better for you. He's literally just talking. Like shout out this podcast, but he's just talking, man. He's not invited. Like I mean, for the clout maybe. For the clout maybe. Honestly, in fact, he's invited for the clout. I want to see. I might get canceled, but that's just gonna impact the views. But that's basically my like thing on it. I don't think he's a good person. Don't think he was a good president. But like at the same time, I don't know like if we've had great presidents in a long time. If anything, like we've had some good ones
Yeah,
here and there, but we haven't had any great ones. Like let's not go
yeah.
too far.
Honestly,
Obama
that's
was a
true.
good one. He wasn't a bad one by any respects. He was a good, solid, decent one, but he wasn't a great president.
He was not.
I mean, that's fair, but like I feel like okay, like don't get me wrong, like I love Obama, but I definitely think like a lot of the stuff that he did was like that was bad was just kind of like just like
Swept.
ignored.
Yeah.
You see, like with all like of like the drone stuff and like the amount of like innocent people he's ultimately killed from that. Like even though like he didn't do it on purpose,
Yeah.
like
Also,
yeah,
I'll say this about those. Like, I personally like. It's sad. Like, dang, this is about to make me sound really kind of, I guess, bad and disingenuous. But like, I obviously, when you're president, which is why I would never want to go in there, and that's why you can
mhm.
see when Obama first, like when he first entered that office, he looked young, he looked ready, he looked prepared for it. He exited
Fact,
white hair, tired, like he aged 40 years, bro. He was the
dude.
40th president. He aged 40 years. Like he literally was not. He did not seem like he wanted to be a part of that anymore. So obviously, I feel as though for the most part they give you like options, and his options are blow up a village or blow up a hospital, and he literally has to
Yeah,
choose between the like literally the two between the two evils for part of it, because it's like at the end of the day, just because of how consumerist or like I guess this country is, and like in a sense, like we as the citizens have allowed it to be, just because like how much of the like in a sense like market we kind of like push and fall into, our inability to actually boycott stuff that are bad, or like actually stand by something that we actually say we're gonna do as a country. I
Terrible.
feel as though like that literally like makes it so people like the richer can literally influence politics however they want, and it wouldn't matter because at the end of the day everything's moving with money. Like with how quickly the debt is rising in comparison to like how much money we're getting, I 100% believe that like shit's just get like there's a possibility shit's just gonna get worse. Like I don't know if Trump was really their figurehead, but it was already sentiments that's already been brewing. I feel like. So I don't know, like I don't know what the future brings. I think everybody just gotta like play it safe, man. Do what you gotta do. And
Mm.
that's really just my opinion on the whole thing. Y'all, what do y'all think? What is your
I don't
closing
know.
arguments?
I feel like I understand what you're saying, and I do. I think that as we continue to live in like this free market, of course, like money is gonna rule the world. I don't think that's gonna change. But also, I also like I believe there's better ways to run our economy. I don't necessarily know if I don't think they've necessarily figured it out, nor do I know what those ways are. But I do feel like there's better ways to run our economy that makes it fair for a lot more people. But I also believe that puts people who are doing well right now in a worse place, and that's the reason why it hasn't been done. And so I think I agree with you. You gotta just not necessarily become loners, but you gotta watch your own and make sure you got what you have. And at the end of the day, continue to do the best for what you can do. But I don't know. I do feel like there's a better way for our economy to run.
What about you, Deezy? Big D?
Big D.
All right, so yeah, I think like with everything that's just been going on, I pretty much just agree with all of you guys. Like, I don't really got anything much to say, so I'm gonna just end it here. Thank you so much, Nah and Hey, for putting me on this podcast. Like I'm always welcome to come back anytime if y'all want to argue over something else. Well, not argue, but have like a constructive conversation about anything. I'm definitely down. Thank you.
Only constructive. That's fine. All right. All right. We'll catch you on the next one.